Today, we're going to talk about something you've probably done 100 times without even thinking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about signing a contract with Google. Every single time you rent a movie or subscribe to a channel on YouTube, you are legally agreeing to a whole set of rules. And some of them, well, they're pretty surprising. So let's dive in.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Have you ever rented a movie on YouTube? Bam, you just signed a legal contract. But do you actually know what it says? What are you agreeing to? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so this is the absolute core of it all. Every time, and I mean every time, you buy or subscribe to something on YouTube, you are entering a binding legal agreement. It's not just a casual purchase. Whether it's a $4 movie rental or a monthly channel membership, you're signing on the dotted line, digitally speaking. And those rules, they have some very real consequences.
All right, so let's get into the first part, the contract before you click. We're going to look at the basic rules you're agreeing to right off the bat. First up, and this one's pretty straightforward, is age. Obviously, you have to meet YouTube's general age requirements. But, and here's the kicker, some specific content has its own age limits. So you might want to rent that R-rated or 18-plus movie, but if you're not old enough, it doesn't matter what your parents say, the contract says no.
Okay, then you've got device and usage limits. This is a big one. The content you paid for might not even work on all your gadgets. And then there are the time limits, which can be a real pain. You know how when you rent a movie, once you press play, a 48-hour countdown starts ticking. Better get the popcorn ready. And of course, where you live matters a lot. The services and content available are totally specific to your country. And I know what you might be thinking, I'll just use a VPN. Nope. Trying to use a VPN to bypass these geographic blocks is explicitly against the rules. It's a big no-no, and they do not like it when you try to pull a fast one.
All right, let's move on to the part everyone's interested in, the money. We're talking trials, payments, and discounts. Basically, how your cash is handled.
So, this begs a question, right? We've all been tempted by it. But how free is a free trial, really? Okay, so here's the typical life cycle of a free trial, and it's a classic. Step 1, you start the trial, it's great. Step 2, the trial period ends. And then, Step 3, bam, an automatic payment kicks in. You see, the whole system is kind of built on the hope that you'll forget to cancel. The second that trial period is over, your card gets charged. It's automatic.
So what does this mean for you? Well, you have some obligations here. You've got to have a valid payment method ready to go. You have to understand that your subscriptions are going to auto-renew unless you cancel them. They'll also tack on taxes and fees. And if for some reason your payment fails, your access just stops instantly. No grace period, no exceptions.
Okay, now for a really crucial part of this whole deal, the rules of the game. This is all about your rights and, maybe more importantly, your restrictions.
This is probably the single most important thing to wrap your head around. When you pay for something on YouTube, you are not buying the movie. You don't own it. What you're actually getting is a license, and it's an incredibly limited license, just for your own personal, non-commercial use. That's it. So let's break down what personal use actually means with some simple do's and don'ts. The do is easy. You can watch it yourself. That's about it. The don'ts list is a lot longer. You can't share your password with your friends. You can't show the movie publicly. And you definitely can't try to copy, rip, or resell the content. No way!
And when they say publicly perform, they mean it. For instance, you absolutely cannot play a movie you rented in a cafe for your friends or show it to your students in a classroom. That might seem harmless, but legally, you're actually breaking the terms of that contract you agreed to.
All right, let's talk about something that might just blow your mind. When your content disappears. Yeah, you heard that right. You buy a movie. You assume it's in your library forever, right? Wrong. Let's dig into why that purchased content might just vanish.
So here's the deal. Paid content can be pulled down for a whole host of reasons. We're talking legal issues, new policies, or most commonly, licensing deals. You see, YouTube's agreement with a movie studio might expire, and just like that, the movie is gone from the platform and from your library. And there's really nothing you can do about it. So what happens when your purchased movie just goes poof? Well, there's actually a policy for this, and it's based on a timeline. If the movie is removed within 5 years of your purchase, you're in pretty good shape. You'll get a refund or a replacement. But if it's been more than 5 years, then it's totally up to Google to decide on the remedy. They might give you a replacement, a partial refund, a full refund, or maybe something else. It's their call.
Okay, let's bring it all home. In our final section, we'll talk about cancellations and key takeaways. How do you get out, and what should you remember?
Let's be real, getting a refund is not easy. Here's how it breaks down. For subscriptions, like a channel membership, you don't get a refund for partial billing periods. So if you cancel halfway through the month, that's it. For one-time purchases or rentals, you might be able to get a refund within 7 days. But here's the huge catch. That's only if you haven't started watching it. The moment you hit play, your right to a refund is pretty much gone.
So, after all that, what are the absolute must-knows? Let's boil it down to 5 key things. Number 1, every single purchase is a contract. 2, those free trials will almost always auto-convert to a paid subscription. 3, you're not buying content. You're getting a very limited license for personal use only. 4, even stuff you purchase can be taken away. And 5, don't count on getting a refund. They are extremely limited. So there you have it, the rules of the game. Now that you know what you're actually agreeing to, does it change how you'll use YouTube? Will you think a little differently the next time your cursor hovers over that buy button? It's definitely something to think about.